Taxes, are they going up or down in Philadelphia? Inside Story starts right now. Hello everyone, I'm Matt O'Donnell and this is Inside Story on this Sunday, June 10th, 2018, and we might have the man who has the answer. Well, we'll see. Philadelphia City Council President Darrell Clarke joins us. So good to have you, Mr. President.
My pleasure to be here.
So if the budget that you sent over to Mayor Kenney goes through, taxes would not go up in Philadelphia. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the details, but given the fact that you presented this budget and you found other ways to try and get revenue for the schools, are you drawing a line in the sand where Philadelphia doesn't go plan A, plan B, and plan C, all to raise taxes when things go south?
Yeah, well, this whole issue about raising taxes has been a challenging one for us. Most of it, if not all, have been driven by the cost of schools. The city of Philadelphia has, to some degree, been the sole funder of our Philadelphia school district. The state has not met its constitutionally mandated requirement to fund schools in the state adequately. We are hoping that in the next budget process that they will in fact do that. But there are our kids, and at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to the local schools. So over the last, since FY12, Matt, the city of Philadelphia has raised more than $1.1 billion in new taxes, and I'm talking $1 billion, right? So we are clearly stepped to the plate as
much of that going to the school district.
All of it going to the school district, and we did what we have to do because we, as you recall, we had closures, we have concerns. We literally closed 32 schools. This whole charter school phenomenon has created a challenge for us as it relates to funding, where people are opening up charter schools and not requiring that those charter schools be in vacant school buildings. It's a very, very complicated issue, but at the end of the day, it's the most significant cost driver as it relates to schools and subsequently the city of Philadelphia's budget.
Is Mayor Kenney going to sign it? Or is
well, I don't know.
Something different?
We put together what we believe to be a budget that reflects our ability to fund schools adequately, balance our budget, provide a significant fund balance for the school. We did it without raising real estate taxes. We looked at a number of other taxes because there were some increases in taxes. The city contributed the $20 million a year that gives us $100 million in grants to the schools. We actually slowed down the wage tax reduction somewhat marginally. We're continuing to reduce the wage tax, and that brought in around $340 million to this school district. We also were in a position to make some strategic cuts. One of the things that's being discussed is that our prison system, fortunately, we've been able to reduce our prison population significantly. A lot of people don't know the House of Correction has zero population. And from our perspective, we should take those cost savings from the closure of the prison and put them in schools. Our approach is to fund it on the front side so children never end up in prison.
Sounds like you don't know if the mayor's going to sign it or not then.
Well, we've had discussions, and obviously I talk to the mayor one-on-one pretty much every week, and at the end of the day, I think he understands the challenges associated with the taxes. The Office of Property Assessment, Matt, we've heard across the city.
That was my next question.
Oh my God, Matt, they're like through the roof.
Are the tax reassessments backdoor tax increases?
Back door, front door, side door, whatever door you want to come through, they're like significant tax increases.
People think that they're intentional. That this is a backdoor way to raise taxes without actually passing a tax increase.
Yeah, I actually don't think it was intentional. I just think that the system is flawed. We actually got to a point where we had significant conversation with the Office of Property Assessment, these ridiculous levels of increases, the average 11% in 1 year. There's no way that a property, the same property, can go up 11% in 1 year. But lo and behold, you literally have properties going up 50%, 75%, 100%. in 1 year. Properties on one side of the street, same property, on the other side of the street, swings of $120,000. That's crazy.
So you're trying to fix things.
We're trying to fix it. And we actually went out, we did a request for proposals. And we just selected what we believe to be one of the most preeminent auditors that audits OPAs and Property Assessment Division. That audit will start now. We want to make sure that that process is fixed before we entertain any additional tax increases.
Are the school district's books clean to the point where you know when they tell you we need more money, they definitely need more money? There's no way to go in there and really look from the bottom to the top and the other way to know that there aren't things that they're spending money on that they shouldn't.
Right. Well, Matt, one of the things that we want to have, and we put that in our charter referendum that passed on a significant level, is that the school district should be independent in terms of how it runs its operations. We don't want politicians in the middle of it trying to tell people how to educate young people. That's their responsibility. But from a fiscal perspective, the recently enacted local charter gives the city council the authority. It actually requires the city council twice a year has a fiscal oversight hearing in council, in public, in a very transparent way to make sure that we ask about every dime that's being spent over there.
So at this point, you do believe that
absolutely,
the books are clean?
Well, no, I'm not saying that, Matt. I'm saying that it gives us an opportunity to make sure the books are clean, because we did put $1.1 billion of new funding in the schools. This budget that we just passed puts an additional $600 million in schools. So we want to make sure as we move ahead, Matt, that this thing from a fiscal perspective is being run properly. And at this point, I can't adequately say that that's what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will the sugary drinks tax survive?
We hope so.
What are the chances? I think it's kind of 50-50 right now, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that we were successful in the lower courts. We don't see anything that would put us in a position to have that overturned, but you never know with the court system. We're obviously hoping that we're successful. Very good programs will be funded. Must say, very difficult vote, but we took the vote because they went to good programs. Real
quick, yes or no, will Mayor Kenney have a primary challenger?
I believe he will. Yeah.
You know who that is?
I probably do, but I'm probably not prepared to talk about it.
Throw out like 5 or 6 names right now, but we don't have any more time.
Yeah.
Council President Darrell Clarke, thanks so much for joining us Inside Story.
You,
our panel is next.